You're watching the Aster King show. The revolution may or may not begin here. The countdown to Brexit has begun, so let's get started. Alright, the Conservative Party conference gave me a lot to whinge about, so I will split my whinging into two categories, immigration and the economy. Firstly, immigration, because let's be honest, we don't actually care about the economy. That's just something we talk about so people feel less uncomfortable liking what we say. Now, in immigration, the Tories might be talking the talk, but they're certainly not walking the walk. The Home Secretary, Amber Rudd, said the government wouldn't be waiting until Brexit to start cutting the migration numbers, but they've been saying this for 6 years now. If they're so dedicated to stopping immigration, why would they be reintroducing the Migrant Impact Fund? You wouldn't need a fund mitigating the impact of immigration if you were going to be stopping immigration. The truth is, they're not planning on cutting immigration, they're only planning on making it seem like they're cutting immigration, and I have figured out how they're going to do it. The answer is Ireland, but the question is not what Ireland is to the left of Britain on a map. No, both the Irish government and the British government are seeking to maintain an open border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland after Brexit. This is how they're going to screw us over. Theresa May is going to deliver a true Brexit, but she is going to keep the border between the two Irelands open, meaning the globalists will still be able to sneak EU migrants into the UK, lowering our wages and putting pressure on public services, and the British government will just turn a blind eye to it and pretend all those Eastern Europeans have always been in the country. So they'll be able to say they've reduced immigration while still being able to provide their globalist masters with cheap labour. And what's worse is they can then give these illegal immigrants citizenship so they can vote against the interests of the British people and for the interests of the globalists. So don't believe their statistics saying immigration has been cut to tens of thousands. It'll be all lies to make themselves look good. From now on, always assume there are too many immigrants coming to this country until you can no longer see a foreigner on the street or on a TV show unless it's based in another country. And the other reason they're going to deliver a hard Brexit is so they can then blame it for the destruction of the economy that they are planning, which brings us on to the second and less important part of my whinging, the economy. Globalists have now figured out a way to take advantage of hard Brexit, and it is not good for Britain. The entire conference has been about using the pretend economic consequences from Brexit that have yet to materialise to talk down the British economy, to excuse their indebting the UK to the globalists to destroy our sovereignty, and to trick the British public into accepting a communist state with an economy designed to crash and burn. Since Theresa May announced she would trigger Article 50 by the end of March 2017, the Tories and the mainstream media have done nothing but warn about the dangers of Brexit, but they were wrong before the EU referendum, and they are still wrong. The Chancellor Phil Palman said the economy after Brexit will be like a roller coaster ride. Theresa May warned about bumps in the road, and May's head of policy has warned of anti-capitalist riots if we don't reform the economic system, but the economic indicators from this week show nothing of the sort. Sure, the pound has hit a 3-decade low, but if you just chant it's good for exports over and over again, you'll find the sheer terror eventually passes. More importantly, the IMF have had to admit they were wrong about Brexit and have predicted the UK will be the fastest growing G7 economy of 2016, and the FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250 are hitting record highs. Now, people might tell you this is because the pound is worth less and so stocks are cheaper, but that argument is only accurate. It doesn't make you feel good, so I say we ignore it and go with my much better argument that the entire world has realised the error of its ways and is now buying our stock to show that it wants us to colonise it again and reclaim the glory days of the empire. Now, it might not be accurate, but it does feed my ego without me actually having to do anything except be born within the borders of the UK, so clearly it's right. And you need to share this information with your friends and family because it's important. The Tories are trying to destroy our confidence in the economy, so they'll accept it when they destroy our economy, blaming it on Brexit and not themselves, and use this as an excuse to indebt us to the globalists, destroying our sovereignty in the same way they destroyed the sovereignty of the Greeks. Philip Hammond has even joked that he will restore fiscal discipline by borrowing billions of pounds. It's like something out of 1984. They're trying to destroy all logic and the meaning of words. They're going to use Brexit as an excuse for all their state intervention in the economy, which will be what actually destroys the private sector, and to turn the UK into a communist state with the people dependent on them. So make sure you spread this video to everyone you can. We need to be vigilant and fight back. And now, the gist of the week. The Hungarian counter-terrorism chief revealed the majority of the Paris attackers used migration routes to enter Europe, so we finally have an excuse for wanting to let refugees die in Syria without seeming like a bunch of assholes. Pope Francis has warned that there is a global war on traditional marriage and the family, with the ammunition being gender theory and divorce, but it makes no difference, he's still the Antichrist. Home Secretary Amber Rudd said the government will make it easier to deport foreign criminals and that they'll get back to us on the details when they have some, but for now we'll just have to make do with their rhetoric. The 3 Brexiteers have been locked out of Chevening House because they never learned how to share. Surprisingly, Donald Trump managed to stop himself from mocking Hillary Clinton for fainting. I am in awe of his newfound restraint. Donald Trump managed to dodge taxes for over a decade by losing $916 million in 1995, showing he can think outside the box and the law, which proves he is the best person to be president. He will be able to think outside the box then too and come up with solutions. Not necessarily good or legal solutions, but they will be unique. Ruth Davidson said she wants to be the Scottish First Minister in 2021. I know it's nice to have dreams and all, but when they start turning into delusions, you were meant to say something, right? EU politicians are ruling out talks before Article 50 is triggered to smooth out the Brexit negotiations for the UK. What bastards taking advantage of the situation we put them in. The Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte is continuing to attack President Obama, and Obama is continuing to not give a shit. Theresa May insulted Larry the cat. What the f***? I want a vote of no confidence in her leadership right now. Farage understands the danger the Conservative Party is putting us in, and that's why he's coming back. You didn't think Diane James quit as leader of her own volition, did you? No, she was kicked out, and I have the scoop as to why she was kicked out. Now, I don't normally share the names of my sources, but I just feel that this story is too important, and you need to know that my reporting is accurate, so I have to. Their names are imagination, creativity, and my ass. Although it was really hard to get that last source to speak with me, I suppose if I had to describe the knowledge extraction in some way, I would say it was like pulling the information out of them. The truth is, Diane James was kidnapped and brainwashed by the globalists. That's why the runner-up in the leadership contest, Lisa Duffy, couldn't get a hold of her for those 18 days and felt like there was no leadership. There wasn't any. And then when she returned, the UKIP MEPs were smart enough, well, there's something I never thought I would say, to realise she had been corrupted by the globalists and rejected her, preventing her from introducing any changes and from even officially becoming leader. Yes, that's right. Nigel Farage is still the official leader of the UK Independence Party. He's not going to take part in any future leadership contest because he won't need to. He's just going to stay leader. In fact, that great source of information, my ass, even told me that this was Farage's plan all along. He knew any leader other than him would be brainwashed by the globalists, and so he quit to prove this to the party and to stamp his renewed authority upon it. So now he can do what is needed to defeat the globalists without any obstacles. So yes, the Conservative Party conference was worse than our worst nightmares, but rejoice. It's always darkest before the dawn, and the personification of our dawn, Nigel Farage, is coming soon. Well, that's about all we have for you this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to hear the truth each and every week. You've been watching the Aster King Show. The revolution may or may not begin here.